Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Hindash and I'm here with Timmy again. I know he's been missing for a while. Today's look is going to be on the beautiful Basma. You've seen her on my channel so many times and I get requested over and over again to bring her back. And this video is all about glow. So I've done an everyday wearable matte look on Basma and today we're doing an everyday wearable glow look. So if you want to see how I created this fresh glowy makeup, then keep watching. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel below if you haven't done so already, and leave me a comment and a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye. Alright, so here is Basma's before and after, and as you can see, it's a very glowy, easy everyday makeup. I mean, if I was a girl, this is what I would do on myself every day if I had a bit more time to make it look like it's a bit more special but still very wearable. As always, I'm going to be starting off with skin prep, and I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix setting spray. And this to me is very refreshing, so you can use it before or after. It's very hydrating and it just makes the skin feel nice. Next, I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Skin Booster, and this is a very hydrating serum. It really makes the skin plump and feel very hydrated, and is a great step before applying any moisturizing base or a primer. And this has definitely been in my kit ever since it launched. I really do like how it feels on the skin. It feels very light, so you can get away with using it if you're oily or if you're dry. And I'm just going to be massaging it in. I'm going to be taking two primers. The first one that I'm going to be using is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Primer in Hydrating. And I'm kind of using this as moisturizer, so just putting it all over the skin and rubbing it in and letting that really sink in. And that way I can kind of get to feel if she has any uneven patches, if I need to add a bit more moisturizer, or if I need to add more pore minimizing products. And for that smoothing effect, I'm going to be taking the smoothing primer and I'm just going to be putting it on her T-zone. And I really like to tap these in because these are kind of the pore filling, blurring primers. And I feel like they work best when you tap them into the skin. And again, I'm just going to be focusing on the T-zone and anywhere where she has open pores. For lips, I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Lip Booster in 02 Pink. And this acts like the skin booster for the face, but this is obviously for the lips. It just fills in those lines and really plumps them up. And it adds a bit of a tint, which I love. I love a good lip tint. For foundation, I'm taking the iconic Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in the shade Y305. I'm just going to be pumping it into a palette and working from there, and this is Basma's perfect shade. As you can see, it just really blends into the skin and disappears. And I'm working in very thin layers as always. I'm going to be starting off on the jawline and building my way up. I really love this foundation. I use the stick one all the time. It's one of my absolute top favorites, but I don't get to use this often, and whenever I do, I just kind of forget why I don't use it as much because it is such a great foundation. And I feel like this truly works for every skin type. You just have to prep your skin beforehand if you want it to be more dewy or more matte. And obviously it's how you set it and what you use with it. But as you can see, I'm applying a very thin layer all over her face. I'm going to be contouring and adding more warmth to the face with the Ultra HD Underpainting Color Correcting Palette in 50 Dark. I'm just going to be working that in with my foundation brush. And starting on the cheekbones, jawline, and then temples on the forehead. I chose something a bit more warm because I do want to add more color to the face and just bronze it up and give more warmth, as opposed to having a harsh contour that's more gray. Because this is an everyday look, and you can do this with bronzer if you don't want to do creams. So whatever you're comfortable with, just do that. If you want to do more powders, then go ahead and just do powders. Next, I'm going to conceal with one of my favorites. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer in 32.5, which is one of the new shade extensions. And I love this shade because it's a bit more on the neutral side. It's not very yellow, it's not very pink. And I'm going to be applying that in areas where I want to highlight and lift. And of course, areas where I want to cover darkness or discoloration. So a bit around the nose and the lips, and anywhere where I want to hide a bit of imperfections. Because I went very light on the foundation, so you can take your time with spot concealing. And I'm going to be blending everything with a damp beauty blender. And this really blends like a dream. It just brightens the face, it lifts, it covers, it does everything that I want a concealer to do, and it's very thin in texture. And it's self-setting, so you don't need to set this with powder if you don't want to, and if you feel like you get very dry with powder. But I'm going to show you the perfect powder that works with this too. And Basma told me she's been breaking out a bit around her cheeks, so we're just going to be covering that right up. And keep in mind that not much shows under these lights, but yeah, there is a bit of discoloration. I'm going to go in with another shade, and this is more of a highlighting shade, and it's 31.5, which is another new shade. And I'm just going to be using the very tip of the wand where it's very thin and just strategically placing that on the under eyes. Basically kind of like retouching and creating these thin lines where I want everything to be highlighted. Because now I'm not concerned about covering, I just want to add more light and brightness. And just tap and blend everything in. Next, I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Loose Powder, and this gets a very bad rep because a lot of people have used it very generously, and when you do that, it does cause flashback. So what you want to do with this powder is you want to use very little of it and use it on wet skin, if that makes sense. So use it on your face when it hasn't been set with any powder or product. And when you load your brush, you really want to tap off the excess and just use whatever's remaining and kind of just tap it in with a brush. And trust me, you're going to get that perfectly blurred finish. It's going to be perfect for everyday use. And you're not going to get any flashback. So as you can see, I'm using very little and I'm tapping it all over the skin, and this blurs, it fills in the fine lines, and it just doesn't mess with the color of your makeup, and it just looks beautiful on every skin type and skin tone. Next, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Blush Palette. I think this is one of my favorite packaging that I've seen on makeup. It's genius, it's tiny, you can fit it anywhere, and it has so many colors. It's really a beautiful, beautiful product. And I'm going to be going in with more of the peaches and just loading that up on my brush. And I always love to stipple cream blush on. So I'm just going to be stippling it on and blending it in. And this formula just blends into the skin. It just looks like skin. You can't see where it begins and where it ends. I love it. I'm obsessed. And it just gives her that beautiful skin-like flush. There are different pigment levels to the colors depending on how they work. So the deeper ones have a bit more pigment. I'm going to be moving on to powder contouring, and I'm taking the Makeup Forever Artist Face Color. And this is in medium shadow, and I'm going to be contouring Basma's nose. I always have to start with the tip of the nose and going in underneath and contouring that, and then going across the tip of the nose. And then very lightly on the sides. For a matte highlight, I'm going to be mixing the shades Banana and Eggshell. And I'm going to be going in on the tip of the nose very lightly, and the bridge of the nose. And this is my trick to creating a very beautifully sculpted nose, nothing crazy. You can tap this in and blend it in more if you want with your powder brush or beauty blender, but I think it just looks beautiful. And going in with a bit of shimmer, this is Iridescent Champagne, and putting a tiny bit on the tip of the nose and the bridge right over the matte highlights that I've done. And then taking a bit more on the Cupid's bow and just accentuating that, and a bit on the chin. And then I'm going to take the same iridescent shade and putting it on the inner corners. I'm going to start off dry, and then I'm going to build up to more of a wet texture with the setting spray, just to see the level of intensity that I want. And I ended up loving that finish, so I wet my brush again with the Mist and Fix, and I added more on the center of the lid. And because it's an all glow look, I decided to just go for it and put that shimmer in the crease as well, and that really just brightens up and lifts her eye, and just really makes her look wide awake. And shimmer in the crease is very underrated. It looks so beautiful when you do it just with one color, and then do mascara and a bit of brown liner. Or black. And for liner, I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in 610 Versatile Chestnut. And this is a chocolate brown, and I'm going to be lining her eyes, and I want to keep the liner pretty straight on, but I might just wing it a bit towards the end. But I'm making her look straight on, because I definitely wanted more focus on the outer corners of the eye. And I'm slowly going to be building up that wing as she looks straight on. So it's always a good tip to look straight on as you're doing your liner and to get really close to the lash line. And by the way, these pencils are multi-use, so you can put them on the eyes, on the lips, in your brows, wherever you want. All over your face, basically. And you guys know I have a weakness for brown liners, so come on. For lips, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil again, but this time in 606 Wherever Walnut. And when I put this on Basma, we were both completely obsessed with it. It's in my kit now. I have used it on so many clients already, and it's so good. It's such a good color. And Basma has uneven lips naturally, so I'm going to be evening out the lip So I'm lining them and filling them in, and I'm going to make her look straight ahead as I even out the two sides. And as you can see, this is pretty much a spot-on match for Basma's lips. It's kind of like a your lip but better for her. And I can really cheat that shape beautifully. To add a bit more shadow, I'm going in with the pencil that I use on the eyes, just on the bottom lip. And blending it in with the color that I've been using this whole time. For lipstick, I'm taking the Makeup Forever Artist Nude Cream, or Creme, Skin Flattering Liquid Lipstick in 3 Bluff. And again, we both fell in love with this lipstick as well. It pretty much matches the lip liner, and I love a liquid lip that doesn't dry down. I love it. Except for like reds and darker colors, I love a nice matte, but I am a fan of this lipstick. I really do love it. That's why I love doing a full face video of a single brand, because I get to explore so much from the collection, and so many of them end up being my staple favorites. And for highlight, I'm taking the Iridescent Champagne again and just putting that on the high points of the face with the fan brush. So tops of the cheekbones and really working it in, and it just looks so beautiful. Because we haven't overly powdered the skin, so we get that nice glow. And I'm just going to be going over the high points of the face. Setting her face with the Mist and Fix setting spray. And then I'm going to be going in with the brand new Makeup Forever Light Velvet Air Shine Controlled Refreshing Spray. I am obsessed with this. I don't know when it's out, but if it's out in your country, you have to try it. It is one of the best mattifying setting sprays that I've used that doesn't make your face feel tight, and it just keeps you matte all day long. It's so good. And just to set that blush and add a bit more glow, I'm taking the Artist Face Color in Shimmery Tangerine, which is a shimmery peachy color. And going over that blush because it's going to give me a hint of that satin sheen. So I'm just going to be tapping that blush in. And kind of blending it in with the highlighter a bit so we don't see any harsh lines. And that completes the look. I'm so happy with this look. Like I said, if I was a girl, this is the look that I would be doing on myself all the time. And Basma looks great. She looks very fresh and very defined. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. And if you do, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.